Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Network on YouTube presents Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton, and today we got a lot of sport news. But before we get into that, please, if you haven't, like and subscribe, share, comment, everything Uneducated Network to where you'll see multiple shows on one channel, including my show, Uneducated Sports Talk, and many, many, many more. That being said, if you guys haven't noticed, we have a heck of a World Series Game 7 coming on. I gotta be honest with you guys, the Dodgers versus the Astros are putting on a showcase unlike no other World Series I've ever seen in my life. I've been watching the World Series since I was probably a teenager, so it's probably about 13, 14 years now, and I got to be honest, this one is the best World Series I've seen in my life. Chicago versus Cleveland last year was epic, it was. But at one point, Cleveland had a 3-1 lead. It was decisive. It felt like it was over with. In this particular series, nothing is set in stone in this series, which I love. I've been watching this since basically 2002 when the Giants were in the championship, the World Series. I've been watching since then with Barry Bonds 02, and I gotta say, this is the first time I'm undecisive of who is actually going to win. My initial pick was the Dodgers in 5. Sorry, Astros fans, I do apologize, but I had the Dodgers because of their pitching, their bullpen. And at some times, in the losses that the Astros had this World Series, it's because of their bullpen hasn't stepped up, and it's because the Dodgers bullpen has been better, but not by much. But we already discussed games 1 and game 2. Three is pretty good as well. 4, but 5 takes the cake. I'm telling you, game 3, the Astros won. Game 4, the Dodgers won. But game 5, the Astros won 13-12 in the extra innings. A 5-hour game. I think it was the longest World Series game in World Series history. Probably so. This game was epic beyond belief. I'm telling you, so many comebacks, so many big hits. It's funny how 10 years ago, it was all about pitching. If you have a dominant pitching staff, you are going to win the World Series. Now, you fast forward to this day and age, that doesn't matter anymore. These hitters are so good, and they're so patient. They both on both sides, the Dodgers and the Astros, both these guys, 1 through 9, if you exclude the pitchers out, these guys are tough every single at bat. You cannot for one moment just put in a pitch thinking that I can get an easy strike, because these guys are swinging at the first pitch fastballs. They're also not swinging at bad balls. And I gotta say this, both teams look electric, and I cannot choose a winner, but I will. So stay tuned for that in just a moment. The Dodgers look good. The Astros look good. Dodgers took care of game 6 to make it 3-3. Justin Verlander, I did say this. Justin Verlander had to come out and throw 7 innings. He pretty much sort of did that, 6 and some change. He didn't get any power. They went on 1-0 from a George Springer home run, and after that, they were pretty much shut of that. They had their chance, I believe, in the 6th inning with a man on 2nd and 3rd with all 2 up to bat, and he just barely got out, and that kind of changed the whole dynamic. After that, Jock Peterson with a home run, and who else hit a home run before that? Somebody else. But I know Jock Peterson hit pretty much the home run that made it 3-1. That being said, in game 5, the difference between the game 5 and game 6. Game 5, those same Dodger bullpen had to go 3, 4, and 5 in those games and play every single game, and they were tired, especially in that game 5. Both squads, to be honest with you. But when you give them a day off, and they had the day off from game 5 to game 6, their arms were a little bit more rested. So when they came in, they handled their business like we knew they could. Kenny Jansen came in, and he gave them 2 innings of shutout work. So, but I want to talk about Clayton Kershaw for a minute. And he will have a chance to redeem himself. I believe he will be the second pitcher in, say if Yu Darvish does struggle. Clayton Kershaw will come in to try and redeem himself off of relief. But he had his chance in game 5. All the Dodgers asked was, man, our bullpen is hit. They're hit. They are tired. Dude, we need you to go 7, at least 7 for us. Can you do that? And knowing Clayton Kershaw, he probably said, yes, I can. And I will. He did not. He didn't even go 5. He made it 4 2/3. And he was very uncharacteristic. screaming at himself for a misplacement of a fastball, and understandably he looked frustrated. And this Astros team 1-9, very, very good, very talented. Dodgers as well, 1-9, very talented, man. And my thing is, Clayton Kershaw has his legacy profile. He has been the best pitcher stat-wise, ERA-wise, whip-wise as well. So he's been the best pitcher in baseball over the last 4 or 5 years now. But his knock was always his postseason play. The one game he could have shut all critics up, shut everybody up, was this Game 5. Take us to 7, give us minimal damage, we'll take you out then. He could not do it. That depleted bullpen came in and got crushed. After being up, spot up 3 points 2 times, 4-1 and 7-4, he could not deliver. And I think that it's only going to put more pressure upon Clayton Kershaw to deliver in the clutch. Game 7 is here. Both squads should be ready. Pitching should be ready. LA is going to be ready. Houston fans are going to be ready. It's going to be a crazy, crazy game. I think Clayton Kershaw has shown right now that he is human in the playoffs, has always been human, and I don't think it will change anytime soon. There's a big monkey on his back, a big one, and it's weighing on him. And I kind of feel bad for Clayton because we put so much pressure on him to be this great pitcher. Well, it's just not happening. But no fault, both squads, players are coming up huge. Yasiel Puig on the Dodgers, Jock Peterson, Taylor, Bellinger, they're all coming up with Justin Turner. They're all coming up with great at-bats. I haven't seen a very, it's been seldom when you see a bad at-bat from both sides. And then you go on to the Astros, Altuve, Correa, you got Altuve, Correa, George Springer, you got, man, Reddick. And Reddick's been the one guy who's been struggling on the Astros team pretty much throughout the playoffs. He's the one guy out of both squads you can say, well, he's the one that's kind of been struggling out of both squads. But Gurriel's been, hitting timely hits. He hit that 3-run home run against, set up by Clayton Kershaw, but I guess Amida. So that being said, both squads have something to prove. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this. Right now, they're getting ready to play in about an hour, so I'm very excited. And who's taking it's going to be Lance McCullers against Yu Darvish. And Yu Darvish and both Lance have very short strings on there because you have Clayton Kershaw, who's healthy, who can come in for this Game 7 on the Dodgers side. And you have Dallas Keuchel, who is healthy and can come in for the Astros side just in case they need some relief, because they're going to and it's Game 7, so everyone is going to be used, period. Everyone is going to be used. If you are struggling, and I've seen from last year's Game 7, the Cubs and the Indians, every single pitch is going to count starting from the first pitch of the game. I promise you. There will be a short lease on every single person. If you are struggling for a second, you will be gone. I guarantee you. Justin Verlander is probably the only starting pitcher in this World Series who actually did a decent job with what he had. Everybody else has been shorted from the get-go. Dallas Keuchel 3 2/3 in Game 5. The same one with Clayton Kershaw, only went 4 2/3. So I'm just being real. It's going to be a very tight, contested game. The difference is it's in the NL National League. So I said this. If Justin Verlander could not get it done in Game 6, I had the Dodgers win it in Game 7. I had the Dodgers in 5, but that was completely wrong, and I do apologize. But I take the apology back. I don't apologize. It just happens. Game 7, Dodgers are at home. Their pitchers are more well rested. They have, I wouldn't say less to lose because they have a lot to lose. It's the World Series, Game 7. No one wants to lose that. But I think they're more comfortable because they're at home. They slept in their own beds. They went to their own places. They're familiar with the ballpark. That kind of stuff happens, and I think that they will take advantage of that. World Series winner, in my opinion, is the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's my Game 7 pick. Is the Los Angeles Dodgers over the Houston Astros. Hopefully I'm wrong because I like the Astros. I'm not a fan, but I am very close to them. Like I said, I'm only 2 hours east of Houston, and so I kind of root for the Astros. Got a lot of fan base going on in Lake Charles, Louisiana for the Houston Astros. But I still picked the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think they will pull it out. I'm hoping if they do pull out, it's because Clayton Kershaw came into relief and dominated at least 4 or 5 innings. I'm hoping that, but I do not see that one bit. Now, I won't be shocked at all if Houston comes out and just, with the bats, but every game has been close in going into the 7th inning. The 6th inning has been the Dodgers inning pretty much all postseason, especially against the Astros. So watch out. If Lance can't get to 5, it's going to be kind of tough to see what happens in 6 because, this team, both of these teams are tough. Top to bottom, I'm loving this. At bat makes you sweat on the inside and the outside, depending on how hot it is in your house. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a great ride. World Series, Game 7. I'm excited to watch it. And if I don't stop, I will keep babbling about this for sure. Next episode, we're going to talk NFL. I'm going to talk about who I'm picking. And I'm sorry I didn't do my pick'ems last week. I do apologize. I will talk about last week as well, what happened, and I'll talk about this week. I'll put that in my next episode. But this one, I want to talk about Ezekiel Elliot suspension. He is gone now, literally 6 games now. So he's going to miss basically week 9 through week 14. He'll be back week 15. The courts came in and they denied him his, I'm about to say deny his release, but they denied him his chance to actually go back on the field. And they didn't go ahead and try to, get it back. They said, we're just done. We're going to go ahead and sit this out. And it's better for him to get it out right now because if not, if they do it furthermore, he can miss playoff time just in case they make it to the playoffs, and he's going to be huge. So he's hoping that this 6-game suspension is going to benefit him, benefit the Cowboys if they are good. If they can go ahead and go 3-3, somehow be 7-6. Or 8-5, something like that. When he comes back for week 14, they're in great shape. Very great shape with Ezekiel Elliott coming back from suspension. So it's better to do it now than to wait, and there'll be no more chance for a playoff run with Ezekiel Elliott. So that running game, he is the heart and the soul because he is a very good running back. Regardless of how good their offensive line is, he just makes them that much better. So Ezekiel Elliott, he's going to be missed by Cowboys fans, but I don't like the ruling. I don't like the whole entire process of the NFL going down with this. I know Jared Jones agrees with me on that. That's like one of the few things we agree on, to be honest with you. But Ezekiel Elliott is going to have to find a way to get through this, and he will. It's 6 games. After that, it'll be over with, and you're done. Don't have to worry about it anymore when it comes down to the NFL. Now, outside of that, that's your problem, man. So Ezekiel Elliott, all Cowboy fans, let me know, do you guys still have a great chance of winning? I'm pretty sure you will say yes because you are Cowboys fans. On to the NBA. I just want to stress out, if you haven't seen NBA Talk, please check out In the Paint with Red, starring my homeboy Devontae Roan, a.k.a. Red. He is the host of the show. I'm there as a mediator. We're talking straight basketball. We had a great conversation. This year so far, the parity. I don't know if the Cavaliers and the Warriors are losing on purpose, especially the Warriors, but they're making this very interesting to see or interesting to watch. I'm actually excited about the NBA season now. There is no dominant team so far. None. Even the Warriors have looked very, very vulnerable. And we know that they'll get their stuff together later on in the season, but each team has had their flaws. And I'm enjoying it. I'm loving every second of it. The East, we all thought that was the Poochies one. Well, they're actually doing pretty good. The West, we all thought they were the big bad boys. Finally, there's a little bit of parity, and that could come within the teams are finding themselves. They're running better basketball, if I could say that. There's no more of that run and gun, and there's actually movement going around with these teams now, and guys hustling, playing harder now. And I'm enjoying it so far. If this first week is an indication of how the season's going to be, count me in, count me aboard. I usually don't start watching NBA or pay great attention to it until Christmas. But this is going to make me join, right now or in November now. So I'm ready to rock and roll with the NBA season. I'm loving teams. Orlando Magic are looking pretty good. If you haven't, check out In the Paint with Red, where Red said that his most surprised team is the Orlando Magic. And I kind of agree with them. They're more like the Golden State Warriors of the East right now, shooting a lot of threes, and they're making a lot of threes. So they're playing an exciting brand of basketball. The young Philadelphia 76ers squad with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are looking fantastic. Ignore the record right now. I believe 3-4. Ignore the record, but just see the play. Trust the process. I'm trusting that Ben Simmons is looking like he's an all-star already, and as well as Joel Embiid. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from this season. Teams like Memphis, they're 5-2, and they don't really have anybody besides Marcus Gasol and Mike Conley. So they're always going to be in it just because of the style of play they are, the style of play that they run. So, but teams like Memphis are looking good, beating teams like the Warriors. And I say this, as long as there's no dominant team, and the Warriors will eventually come back down to earth. And I say earth, I mean they'll come back and realize that they're the best team in the league. They'll be fine. But until then, I'm loving how close things are. Teams aren't afraid of, there's no team afraid of any team right now. Whoever's playing against each other, they're not scared. I'm seeing teams like the Nets beat a good team and lose to a bad team. I'm seeing all that. So now things are getting very interesting, and I'm respecting the hell out of it. I appreciate what the NBA is bringing us this year. And I should have knew something when the offseason last year started. You're like, man, hold up, this could be something. It just kept getting better and better and better and better, and boom, all of a sudden, now you have the OKC three-headed monster, and then now you have Kyrie in Boston. Things are looking pretty good, very interesting. So I'm just like you guys, I'm excited for the NBA season, man. So we're gonna wrap up right there. Like I said, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network, where you can see my show, Uneducated Sports Talk. You can see So You Think You Know Sports, hosted by Craig Jones. You see Uneducated Hero Talk, hosted by Chris Batiste. Uneducated Star Wars Talk, hosted by Chris Lambert. And Gaming Uneducated, hosted by Sheldon Woods. And many, 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 many more shows on Uneducated Network. All you have to do is like and subscribe to Uneducated Network on YouTube. That being said, like I said, next episode we will talk football and more football. My picks from last week, my picks from this week, and then probably on Thursday we'll talk fantasy as well. So with that being said, Uneducated Network on YouTube presents Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton, and as always, sports fans, you know what it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace.